So it's Friday here in the shop. Not sure if I'm going to do this every Friday or not, but I guess I will this Friday. There's been a new addition to the shop. Got rid of a couple machines and made room for this guy, which is a hardened lathe that's been retrofitted or fitted, I guess, with an AccuSlide CNC. This one has the Fagor controls, and they were running it up until the battery went dead and they lost parameters, and they spent a couple weeks trying to load them back in and just couldn't get it to work anymore. So I picked it up relatively cheap, I guess, and my plan is to do a Acorn retrofit on it, Centroid. But more on this as it progresses. But I did go ahead and make the brackets for the motors. Probably should have just made a whole new end plate, and on this one that would have been fairly easy. But this one here is considerably bigger with much more detail in it. If these adapter plates give me some problems, that's eventually what I'll do. But for now, I think these will be fine. And if you saw my shop tour, you know the shop is really tight. So I'm thinking about moving this back so that it's, or even level with this, I'm not sure, just to give me a little more space here. So anyway, little update on the Herco. Haven't seen too much of this in any of the videos. I was gonna do a retrofit on it, I think, in the shop tour, but that was kind of the end of it. And the retrofit is almost done. I just got to make a new faceplate for my buttons here, but it is up and working, as you can see. So I'm really just tidying up. A tumbler. I bought this tumbler about a year ago, and I've been using it off and on for the last couple days. And well, let me see. Now, I had to make this rubber piece to go in here, and really, I don't know if I can turn it around, but all it is it's a rubber floor mat that I cut to the size to fit. Underneath of this is some rubber that was in it when I got it, and I'm guessing, I don't know, it looks like a homemade job. It was probably original. I don't know what the rubber is, but anyway, when I was using it, the rubber started to flake off, and started staining parts. I mean, I can sand this off or use some cleanser on it to get it off. I've cleaned a couple of them already, but what's the point in using a tumbler if you gotta sand the parts afterwards? So anyway, I just put this rubber in to cover the rubber that was there, and got some good results. I ran some parts the other day, and everything worked fine, except for maybe, I checked it every hour. The last hour I started to notice some more black spots. So what I'm thinking is this stuff's getting shaken out and falling into the bin and staining my parts. So I'm going to have to pull this back out, chisel all that rubber out, and put this back in. This is, like I said, it's just a floor mat I got from Home Depot. We'll see how long it lasts. I didn't want to invest in urethane sheet until I knew the thing would do a decent job, and it does. But now I'm not going to buy it until I wear this out. And I've been using these here, which are not a bad size. from C&M Top Line. Not the cheapest place I could find. Shipping was a little crazy, but even with the shipping, they were still cheaper than the other guys. A couple projects I've been working on. This is a unnecessarily heavy air filter box. This is to replace one that I had made a couple weeks ago for my fastback. It was just it was too thick, and you couldn't get to the brackets. But it was the thinnest filter I could find. So this relocates the filters to beside the carburetor. The carburetor sits here. It's a side draft, so it sits here. Instead of having a filter out here, it's got them on the side. And I tried to do all the math to make sure that the internal volume matches how much air could flow through the 40 millimeter holes, and same thing with the filters. I went as big as I could so that there was no choke point. I hope to get this fitted sometime next week and make sure it all fits and works. This was an experiment. This is an adapter for a Weber DCNF, and I really didn't think it would work. In fact, this was made, and I made it without this, and this front plate was different, and I mounted it. I made it as simple as I could to test it, and it worked. I couldn't believe it. So, pretty happy though. So anyway, I added these holes for water to warm this up, because this is isolated from the motor. So if I get some water going through there, it'll keep it from icing up. And this is kind of beefy, so this is just a hole for a like a support bracket. And the first one I did didn't have these. So when the carburetor's mounted, obviously it goes all the way down on those studs. The throttle has to go this way, but in the car it's pulling that way. So I'm going to put like a rocker plate here, so that when you pull that way, it tilts and pulls the other way. Hope that makes sense. Anyway, got some retrofit stuff for the hard inch. This is from Centroid here. Went ahead and got their computer and the Acorn board with the relays and all that. So I'll be starting on that hopefully soon. I got a few more things I'm waiting on. I went ahead and I didn't think I was going to when I bought the machine, but the more I researched it, it just made more sense. I went ahead and got the new motors and drives for it. So this is a DMM, and they're in Canada, and I'm in Virginia. They're in Canada above Seattle, and I'm in Virginia, and somehow these things got to me in like 3 days. I expected longer, but anyway, that'll be coming up too. It looks like it's a little overwhelming getting started, but it looks like it's going to be relatively simple. I did the Herco, so I'm reasonably confident I can do this one too. Had a issue with the Tormach. In the middle of making a couple parts, the Z-axis would suddenly just plunge with no change to the readout on the computer. And initially I thought it was a short, but I called the service tech support, and they called me back. It was probably within 24 hours. Had a conversation. I think the guy's name was John. Man, he really knew his stuff. And two main things. One was to unplug everything inside one at a time, obviously, and put in some dielectric grease. It's not a climate-controlled shop, so that could have been part of the issue. But the other thing, more likely, was the Z-axis brake was starting to go. So So I did both of those things and the issue went away. So I don't know which one it was. But if I had to guess, I'd say it was the Z-axis brake. Because several months ago, I had an issue with when I powered it off, it would just fall slowly. And I thought it was the gib was loose. So when I tested it, the gib was loose. So I snugged it up. And, from being worn in. And the problem went away. But then it came back, but different. So I don't know, because it wasn't powered down when it would fall, so it was odd. But anyway, it's gone now. Doesn't matter. The guy at Tormach, he was super helpful. Couldn't have been able to figure it out without him. So, but anyway, that's it. That's all the update I have for today. Maybe I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.